Bing Crosby and Bob Hope, two legends of Hollywood's golden age, were once seen as the perfect comedy duo. Their asterisk road to films, packed with adventure, music, and quick-witted banter, made audiences laugh for decades. On screen, their chemistry was flawless. Bing, the smooth and unshakable crooner, played perfectly off Bob, the wisecracking showman who never missed a punchline. Together, they created movie magic that defined an era. But behind the smiles and laughter, there was a darker reality, one that few fans ever saw. The truth is, Bing Crosby quietly despised Bob Hope, and the real reason for that resentment stayed hidden for years. It all started in the 1940s, when both men were at the peak of their fame. Bing Crosby had already become one of America's most beloved voices, a calm, easygoing presence who could make any song sound effortless. Bob Hope, meanwhile, was a whirlwind of energy, loud, spontaneous, and endlessly competitive. When they teamed up for their first road movie, it seemed like a match made in Hollywood heaven. But almost immediately, cracks began to show. Hope's relentless need to be the center of attention started to grate on Crosby, who preferred a more controlled, understated approach. During filming, Hope was notorious for going off script, throwing in extra jokes, stealing scenes, and trying to upstage his co-star. Audiences loved it, but Bing didn't. He believed in professionalism, precision, and timing. To him, Hope's improvising wasn't clever. It was chaotic. Crew members later revealed that Bing would often roll his eyes or walk off set when Bob turned every take into a comedy contest. What made things worse was that Hope would often take credit for their chemistry in interviews, portraying himself as the driving force behind their success. That didn't sit well with Bing, who quietly believed that his own subtle charm balanced out Bob's over-the-top antics. Off camera, their personalities clashed even more. Bob Hope was famously obsessed with fame, constantly appearing at events, parties, and on TV, always performing, always on. Bing, on the other hand, valued his privacy. He was a quiet family man who hated Hollywood gossip and rarely opened up about his personal life. To him, Bob's constant self-promotion felt phony and exhausting. Friends of Bing later said he saw Hope as a performer who couldn't stop performing. Still, they kept working together, partly out of mutual respect, but mostly because the public loved them as a team. Their rivalry stayed mostly under wraps, hidden behind jokes and charm. But the tension never fully disappeared. Even in later interviews, Bing would refer to Bob as a great entertainer rather than a close friend. His tone distant and reserved. It wasn't until years after both men had passed that letters and interviews revealed the truth. Bing didn't hate Bob Hope out of jealousy. He simply didn't like the man behind the smile. He admired Hope's talent but despised his ego and his need to always have the last laugh. In the end, their legendary partnership was built on professionalism, not friendship, a pairing that made history, but also hid one of Hollywood's greatest rivalries behind the curtain of laughter and fame.